You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
Today, we're doing our weekly recap number 31.
31, baby!
We're getting into it today. We have a few DCU news. We have some MCU news. And then we're going to go over to our Oscar breakdown, see what predictions we got right back in our Oscar predictions, and see which ones we got wrong. And then we're going to have a little bit of discussion there. So, starting off with the DCU today, we have some major news that just came in last week.
Okay.
Because we're just now getting into this.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's pre-recorded. We have a lot of stuff to do. But anyway, incoming transmission from Lord Darkseid posted by Zack Snyder coming April 28th to the 30th. What do we think about this? Snyderverse Reborn? Question mark?
Man, I wish, and I know a lot of other DC fans wish, but more than likely, this is probably, unfortunately, probably a watch party.
That's what I would
guess. Or maybe,
guess.
another clip he never released.
Right.
But it's definitely not an announcement that he's doing more movies.
It's not an announcement because James Gunn would not allow that for one thing. And then another thing, I personally, I would have liked to have seen his vision. I would have loved to have seen it.
And Evil Superman.
And completed it, seen Justice League Part 2 and all that stuff. But personally, I'm not a huge fan of Zack Snyder and his writing and directing styles. I love his cinematography and the use of those
That's
things.
what he's good at, but he does kind of suck in other departments.
But I'm not a fan of those other things and the way he did, I think of Batman vs. Superman. I'm not a huge fan of Man of Steel. And, some of them things, it's I don't want. But more than likely, like you said, it's probably a watch party, maybe a podcast talking about what could have been.
A podcast would be great.
It'd
just
be cool
to hear his perspective and kind of what he wanted to happen. Because I know Warner Brothers kind of screwed him over along with a lot of other people. So,
a lot of other people.
I don't know. Imagine, if he had full control. We saw how good the Justice League was.
Right.
His cut of it.
When he had full control.
I know
that's
what
true.
I'm saying. So, I don't know. I just have hope that maybe we can. I don't know.
It's right there.
Here's something else. I know it's right. We watched that together.
We did. 4
Remember
hours.
that morning? Yeah. And then we did 2 podcasts.
That was like an 8-hour day. It's fantastic. We got lunch though.
We did. We got pizza.
Shout out Pizza Parlor
We
in
got the Pizza Parlor,
Jonesboro. Dropping hints. All right, anyway, moving on. So probably just a watch party or new scene podcast. Probably. I'm not going to think that he's going to be like, Justice League 2 coming out. No, I don't think so.
He had his 3 movies, a trilogy right there. So it's probably a podcast about all 3. Maybe he'll bring on Henry Cavill or somebody to talk about it.
That may be
That'd
true.
be heartheartbreaking, man.
It would be sad.
I feel so bad for him.
I love Henry Cavill.
Dude,
man.
Warner Brothers just screwing their people over. I don't understand
keeping people that I don't understand why they keep it.
They have some of the best source material out there for the original movies.
Exactly.
Their comics, and they're like, you know what? Let's just make the worst possible entertainment decisions.
And DC comics are so much better than Marvel.
Facts. They're goated. They're serious. They're darker, and they're just more compelling, man.
I know. So that's tragic. All right. Next piece of news is James Gunn has officially been named director of Superman Legacy. We already knew he was writing it, but now it's confirmed that he's going to be a director. What do you think?
I don't know if I like this, Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, like we said before, I just don't have trust in James Gunn to do a movie of this caliber.
Right.
know?
I mean, we know James Gunn does phenomenal jobs with no-name outcast characters and bringing in a band of characters.
Watchmen or Guardians, Suicide Squad.
Exactly. He does a great job, but will he do a good job with one character, one story, and about the world's first superhero and one of the most popular heroes out there?
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to accomplish that? I mean, I know he's a talented director. I know he's a talented writer and he can do it, but I know he's a big fan of the comics and stuff, but it's just you have those hesitancies because of what he's done in the past, and it doesn't really translate because I don't want to see a super comedic Superman Legacy movie. I want it to be serious in tone.
Yeah, kind of which is his style,
Right.
Personally, he might have these, but I haven't seen them. But I've never seen something more darker and serious. To this extent, like you said, we don't want to see a comical Superman.
No,
we want to see a classic, someone we see out of Spielberg, or stuff from the 90s.
And I don't want to see a rated R Superman either.
I know,
I want to see
another Brightburn.
I know, I want to see a good PG-13 movie that serious in tone, maybe a few jokes once in a while, but not overwhelming. Have Jimmy Olsen be your comedic relief or something like that, and just be, have a really good, compelling, original, basic Superman story is what I would like to see.
If you think back on it, I know you're not a big fan of Man of Steel, but what Snyder did with the cinematography in Man of Steel is
I mean, the music and the cinematography, there's no question about it.
It's so hard. I mean, you're talking about a dude that's supposed to be, flying, faster than a bullet, and he's stronger than everybody anybody else.
Right.
Like, it's hard to kind of capture that and just his power. I feel like Snyder did a good job. But seeing Gunn do that, I mean, the most powerful, I don't know, character he's worked with, I don't know, recently is like Drax, and he nerfed him
Adam
to the ground.
Warlock. I mean,
Adam Warlock,
we'll have to
which
wait
we
and
haven't
see what
seen yet.
happens there.
But I don't know, Superman. Listen, man, I don't mind the writing, but the direct.
We'll just have to
I'm
wait
nervous.
And see. I know. I understand, and it's rightly so. I mean, who knows? He could absolutely kill it, and I hope he does, and it could be amazing. But we are right to be nervous, so we'll see what happens. We still got some time, like 2025 is 2025.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so 2025. So we got time. So we'll see what goes on there. All right. Next up is James Gunn came out and said that originally back in the early 2000s he would have loved to have seen Matthew Lillard, who of course we know from Shaggy and Scooby Doo, the legend. He would have liked to have seen him play Plastic Man, and mentioned something about him maybe coming back to do this role in the DCU. What do you think about that? I like it.
I think it's a fire cast. I also think freaking Kite Man would be hilarious. He's really small characters.
Plastic Man's a major character.
Yeah, he's bigger.
He's big.
He would. I think he would fit it quite well. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Plastic Man's incredible. Matthew Lillard is great.
Out there, bro.
I think he would fit very well. I mean, Plastic Man's a really cool character, and I mean he's a pretty big character in DC Universe, and I mean he stretches. So I mean we got that.
The original Miss Incredible.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, like I would love to see it. I think Matthew Lillard could do it. Maybe he's too old now, though. I don't know. I mean, when I see Plastic Man, I think of like mid-30s.
And he has like the shades, right, and black hair, red suit.
So maybe he's a bit too old now, but who knows? Maybe they could pull it off.
That'd be great.
All right, next up, I'll let you take the reins here because I know you have a lot to say about it. Is Ben Affleck and what he came out and said recently.
Oh yeah. Okay. So listen, man. Ben Affleck. Somebody asked him a question, and basically he just said that we're working on Justice League right after Snyder left, and then Whedon took over. He said it was like one of the worst experiences of his life, and that given the choice, he would never ever go to DC Studios to direct
Justice
a movie.
League.
Yeah, with not that he hates James Gunn, he has nothing against James Gunn, but he just said he doesn't want to be affiliated
too much bad blood
with Warner Brothers anymore because they screwed him over, and that's like rightfully so. Like he was supposed to direct the Batman movie, right, where he squared off versus Deathstroke. And I really love Affleck's character, but like you said, Warner Brothers screwed him over, and I can't blame him at all for not wanting to be a part of anything.
At least
further,
we're getting final goodbyes of some of these characters. Like we'll see him one more time in The Flash and be his send off and things. But yeah, I agree. I mean, he has a rough experience. I would have loved to have seen him come back to direct something, but I understand from where he's coming from, what he's doing. I mean, I know he's got other projects he's working on now, the new Air movie, and things like that. That's really cool. But I understand where he's coming from, but then again, I'm like, I would have liked to have seen him like work with him or some capacity.
I feel bad, and he's a very talented director.
He's a talented director, and he's a good actor.
And he's a very good actor. Yes. So I feel sad that we're not going to see him in the DCU, but like you said, I think that just needs to go out to the executives up at Warner Bros. Discovery that hey, like we got to start treating our people better, so they want to stay with us, so we can make more money.
Which is, I think that's why they're making these executive decisions now. So we'll see what happens there. Next up is another big thing that just happened recently, and it's not necessarily DC news, but it's Warner Brothers and that kind of history news. So the HBO Max is apparently looking towards a name change, which we've kind of talked about this in the past, and they've been rumors about it, but now I think it's kind of confirmation. They're planning on changing it, I think, to just Max.
Just Max.
Kind of basic. I mean,
to be honest,
nothing there.
I think this would be dumb. HBO Max, it's my favorite service. I also think it's the best. They got some of the best old movies. They make great originals now, and they have a huge library. I think the reason for cutting out the HBO is that they said some people associate it negatively.
Which is fair.
I know, at least growing up, they had the more, mature content.
Yes, they did.
But HBO was also, synonymous with, like good quality TV, like The Wire, The Sopranos, or Game of Thrones. Like, it was just bangers. So I don't understand having a company and then removing the company's name. That's like Disney Plus doing Disney because people said they were too woke or it was too family friendly.
Or just be Plus.
Like that's HBO's like focus being more mature. So why would they remove that? Plus Max just sounds stupid. I know. And no one's gonna know that's Warner Bros. So.
That's true. I mean, the only way that they could like fix this is they did like Warner Brothers Max, like WB Max, something like that, which might be cool and better name association, because I understand the controversy of HBO being very mature content, nudity, profanity, all those kind of things that are included in a lot of the HBO shows and things like that.
That's why the people go to it, though.
That's
like the
true.
adults.
A
and
lot
those
of
who
them
want
enjoy
that
to see
content,
that adults dark content and to watch and stuff. And I'm personally, I'm not a big fan of that kind of content myself, but I know a lot of people are, and there's some good stuff on there, and there's some other good stuff there too that are family friendly as well. That they produce. And I know like shows like The Last of Us isn't too bad, and it's really good. So I mean, I see what they're coming from, but then again, I mean, the HBO name's been around for so long.
I know,
and it's so much movie, so much good stuff
drop
there
it like that.
And I mean, yes, they make bad decisions and good decisions at the same time. For example, keeping Velma for season 2 when you have other projects they could do.
It's one of the worst. What's having IMDb like a 1, like a 1 or
it's literally like
that.
a 1.3.
Yeah,
like,
I haven't seen anybody who's even watched it or liked it.
I haven't either, so I don't ever want to do that.
They making shows like Last of Us, and House of the Dragon, and then putting out
and they
like
cut
Velma,
like the new Batman series for Velma season 2,
and
I'm like,
dude,
man, I'd
here
rather
you go, Amazon,
dude. I'd rather have my eyes rolled over by a semi truck 3 times than watch Velma.
You'd rather watch paint dry.
I would rather watch paint dry and be painted myself.
You'd be painted along with
I'd rather have paint be poured into my eyes than watch Velma, and that's just my stand.
No, I feel the same. I feel the same.
Now to make the transition over to MCU news, just 2 pieces of news, very small in scale, but to some of you Daredevil fans, it may be bigger. Being that Vanessa Fisk, originally played by Sandrine, I think Holt, is being recast in Daredevil: Born Again. What do you think, Nathan?
I mean, I really do like how Holt portrayed the character in the show.
Right. A lot of people liked it.
I know. To be honest, I thought she was really great. I would just be interested as to why,
I know, and who. Maybe it could be that she just didn't want to come back, or she had scheduling conflicts.
Listen, if I'm Marvel and I had a talented cast that already proved they could play the role,
right,
and that they already had a fan following, why would I not bring them over?
Right.
Especially if you're bringing over, Charlie Cox and John Bernthal and then Vincent, right? Why would you not bring back the others? I know. Same with Foggy and Karen's actors. Like, why would you not do that?
I know. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that the show is not going to be canon, or Daredevil's not going to be canon to the MCU now, the original Netflix series. I mean, it still probably will be, but I mean, there have been recasts in the MCU before, like Rhodey and Bruce Banner, but I don't know. I mean, this character isn't that huge, so I'm not like really like
it's not a huge character.
Bad about it. I mean, if they're recasting like Charlie Cox, I'd be upset. But
dude, I would throw hands with the nearest homeless man I found, dude. Just like pick a fight with someone who wanted to fight, man.
That's fair. But yeah, so there's the news there. So I mean, we'll see who the recast could be. All right, next up is what if season 2 will introduce a brand new superhero of Native American heritage, being Kahori. And I was Googling her because I'd never heard of her in comics and stuff before, and she's apparently brand new, because it's a completely new character being introduced in What If. So I wonder if she's going to be translated in live action then, or if this means she's going to stay in that universe. What's going to happen there?
I mean, I do like to see, the universes expand out and create new characters.
Right,
sure. I think it's folly to just, kind of like Bob Iger said, to just rely on your main characters and just pay them more and more and more and more money for your sequels. So they have to end up creating new characters at some point, right? Miss Marvel was created in like 2013, like Bucky in 2011. Like those are recent characters, at least in the last 10 years.
Right.
A new character in What If, like we already don't have any idea who she is.
No
so
idea.
It's like just throwing her in, but you don't know who she is. So it's like, but what if this was different? You don't know what's different because don't know what's normal for
what
her.
What if this character took power of somebody else before they got it? Something maybe, I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, it's interesting.
I could definitely see her getting translated over to live
as long as they produce a really good character, new character, and it's really good and compelling. I
think
I'm
a
okay
lot
with
of it will depend on how the writing and the storytelling is, and how the fans react to that specific What If episode.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, now we get to our part where we can get hyped.
Okay.
To talk about the Oscars breakdown.
The Oscars.
I know I watched it in full. Did you? I don't think you did.
Dude. I don't have cable, man.
That's fair enough. But I did
in my new house.
I watched it in full, the Oscars breakdown, and I must say, like, it was a good ceremony. I think they did really good. I mean, some of the awards are questionable. Not many of them, but some of them. But I think all in all, it was a good Oscar, and many of the people that got the awards deserved the awards.
Yeah.
So I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah.
So first off, And we did our Oscar predictions, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first off, the first Oscar given by Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt was the Best Animated Feature Award, and both me and you did call it and get it correct in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio winning this award,
which deserved it.
Oh yeah,
I get kind of upset when I see these people. They're like, Puss in Boots, robbed, which is an awesome animated movie, and I love it. It's freaking like 4.5, probably 5 stars out of 5 stars. But Pinocchio is just like a different beast.
It was
something that he worked on for like 6-7 years.
Oh yeah, and it takes forever because it's all stop motion. I mean, they'd have to move these pieces every inch for every movement and take a picture of it and then put it all together. I mean, that's extremely hard and extremely impressive, especially being like an hour 40-minute movie. I mean, that would take forever, like you said. The 6-7 years he's been working on it. This is Guillermo del Toro's baby, and plus it's just an incredible movie. And it just has a great voice cast, great movie, great story. And I specifically like what Guillermo del Toro said when he accepted the award. He said that animation's not a genre. It's just an expansion of film. And I like that because it's true.
Okay.
I really think animated movies get slept on. And in reality, animated movies are some of the best movies out there. So I think really people should have more of an eye for animation. So I'm really hyped that he got this award.
Yeah, well deserved for sure.
Well deserved.
He's becoming one of my favorite directors.
Oh yeah, he's great. Really. He's great. Next up, Best Supporting Actor was given, and it was given to forgive me if I mispronounce this. Kiwi Kwan, I think. Kiwi Kwan, I think is how you pronounce it.
Kwan,
whatever. Kiwi Kwan won it, and we did call this. I mean, we said it would be between him and Brendan Gleeson, but ultimately thought it would be him. It was
him, yeah.
And honestly, this was the best award given that night. I just have to say, his speech,
it was so emotional.
His take of it, his happiness, his joy shown off of getting that award.
Mom,
dude,
I won an Oscar.
I know. He was like, my 84-year-old mom is watching this Oscars at home, and Mom, I just want an Oscar. He's crying. Oh my goodness. This is a storybook moment. I mean, this is a kid whose first movie was Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. And then he went on to be Dad in the Goonies and some incredible movies there. And then he kind of took a break. I mean, he did a couple movies here and there, and then he was like blackballed by Hollywood similar to Brendan Fraser. And now he's come back in Everything Everywhere All at Once and won this prestigious award of Best Supporting Actor. I mean, it's a better ending than any Hollywood movie can make. So I really, really loved that, and he deserved it 100%.
He deserved 100%. It made me tear up seeing it.
It did.
Listen, man, some of the comments I saw were brutal. one kid was like, he finally made his Asian mom proud. It was stuff like that. But listen, man, this man deserves it. It was so awesome. Just seeing him cry just like hit a nerve because
it did.
Like, I did it, Mom.
Absolutely. He did it. And it was incredible.
That's beautiful. So I hope to see him in more projects.
I do
soon,
too.
Really.
Well, he's going to be in Loki season 2, so we'll see him then.
Crazy.
So we'll see him then.
Yeah.
All right, next up is the Best Supporting Actress, and this one sparked some controversy, being the winner was Jamie Lee Curtis, and we did not call this at all. I mean, I mentioned her that she would have a chance, but I did not think she would win. Yeah. I thought it would be Angela Bassett 100%, and honestly, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. She deserves it. She's a great actress and she's been in the business for a very long time. But I really do think that Angela Bassett deserved the award. What do you think?
Honestly, I really feel like it could go on either way.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're both, prospectively great in their individual roles.
Right.
I think the main thing just factored into it is like number one, Jamie Lee Curtis was in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Right. And like I said, it won 7 awards. So I think that factored a lot into it, and that movie was heavily favored. And second of all, that, Wakanda Forever is a Marvel movie.
Right.
Even though
and that's kind of like
Bassett's performance was amazing. I mean, you also saw, the Batman get snubbed
they did.
For cinematography, right?
And not only cinematography, they got snubbed in other, not even being nominated in other categories. So
listen, man, I do think it's a common, kind of superhero thing. But if Bassett had won, I'm not saying that, she deserved to win. I think it could gone to either and I would have been okay. Right. But if she had, did one, I don't think there would have been any problem with that.
No, right. I mean, I love Jamie Lee Curtis again, but Angela Bassett, I mean, I understand, at least they were willing to nominate her in this category. I mean, that's an honor in and of itself. But the thing was, it's like, Oscars like I understand not giving some of the Marvel movies, especially some of the recent ones, Oscars and stuff like that. But I do feel like, they are movies too, and a lot of them are really, really good and are deserving of some of these Oscars. And it did win one Oscar of costume design, which was incredible,
which was well deserved.
Well deserved. But I do think that it would have been cool to really see him, because no MCU actors ever, won an Oscar before like this. So I would have liked to have seen it, but I understand.
And I really do think the Batman easily could have won costume design too.
I do too. I agree.
I felt like that was snubbed really hard.
I do think so
this year. But
all right, next up is Best Director, which you got more right than I did. I did not think that the Daniels would win it. I really thought it would be either Spielberg or the director of The Banshees of Inisherin. But I mean, I don't think they deserved it. Everything Everywhere All at Once is great, and I do agree that they deserve Best Screenplay.
Yeah.
But I don't think they necessarily deserve Best Director.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, the question is like, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the criteria that's met for Best Director? Right? Does it mean like the best movie or
no?
You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel like it necessarily means best movie. I feel like it means the best, the way the camera was shot, the way that the scenes progressed, the way that, all these things happened to accumulate to one story, one plot together really well that was executed well. I think that's more so what it means.
I think The Fabelmans was right up there with it, but like I have a hard time seeing, how that would win versus this movie. Like Everything Everywhere is just, I feel like on a different level.
Right. I mean, it's a great movie, but at the same time, it's like, some of these other awards. I mean, giving Best Director and Best Screenplay to the same people, I mean, it just seems very like, eh.
I do think, I don't think Screenplay was deserved. I think that should have gone to Women Talking.
Oh, really? Okay.
To be honest, yes. But like I said, we're just nitpicking here. But if Spielberg had won it, I would have been fine. But to be honest, I thought it was definitely between those two.
Right. Okay.
Like I said, I really do think there was just an A24, Everything Everywhere, just like frenzy, obviously this year. You know?
And one other movie we'll talk about here in a few minutes as well. All right, next up is the Best Actress Award, which I did get right. I did say it would be Michelle Yeoh, and you said Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett. Yeah,
right. It was Michelle Yeoh, and I think it was well deserved. I think she deserved this award.
Happy for her. Yeah.
Happy for her. I mean, she's been in the industry a long time as well. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Some of those other movies, Shang-Chi, even. I mean, some of those movies, but she deserved it. I think she was incredible in her role, and I think Best Actress is well deserved. So I'm all hyped about that. I know you kind of wanted Blanchett.
I did, but I'm not upset either. Both roles were amazing. Michelle Yeoh, she just really brought that character to life. Just that regular person going through this multiverse and connecting with her daughter was a really heartfelt, touching story, which she portrayed greatly. So shout out.
Right. Absolutely. Shout out. All right. Next up, Best Actor, which we did call. I mean, we said it between two, and we were right anyway. But ultimately, the deserving one won. And being Brendan Fraser won Best Actor.
Yeah. And
I wish I would have got a picture with that guy.
Imagine, dude.
I know.
Like, you're at I
was right next to him.
Yeah, you're there in North Carolina at the conference, and then literally,
I know. He wins the Oscar.
6, 7, 8 months later, he wins an Oscar for Best Actor.
That's nuts.
I do feel bad for Butler. I mean, every year you got just people who put in amazing performances that either don't win or just don't get nominated at all.
Right.
I mean, the man learned to talk like Elvis, learned to sing,
complete
in
method acting,
like 3-hour movie. Like he did great, but man, Brendan Fraser, his story, his story was just heartbreaking, and emotional, and he just connected with a lot of people.
He did,
who feel
he's a humble guy.
Yeah, they just want to make something good out of their life, no matter what's happened in the past. So definitely well deserved. Obviously, you feel bad for the people who don't win, but he deserved it, and it was emotional seeing him win too.
I agree. I mean, honestly, like, who's to say Austin Butler won't get a supporting actor nomination next year for Dune Part 2?
Yeah, for Dune.
Who's to say? Yeah. I mean, that could be very possible.
He's going to be terrifying.
I've heard good things. I've heard he's incredible in that movie. So who's to say that couldn't happen? Yeah. So we'll see with that. But Brendan Fraser, well deserved, my guy.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Best Picture Award, and first off, before I highlight, Harrison Ford gave this award, And it was really incredible because the best picture ended up being Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Well deserved. I do agree. I mean, I said Top Gun Maverick because I wanted it to be Top Gun Maverick, but I said it probably would be Everything Everywhere. But honestly, I mean, Everything Everywhere All at Once did deserve the award. Yeah. It's an incredible movie. But when Harrison Ford delivered it, it was a full circle moment because of Kiwi Khan running up there and just giving him the biggest hug, and then both smiling so hard at one another and just seeing that, like, you know, Harrison Ford saw this kid, first movie, first role, and then now seeing him and awarding him, you know, Best Picture, and then he just won Best Supporting Actor. I mean, that's
awesome.
That's such an amazing story. Dude, that's about to be a movie in like 5 years. Calling it right
Why
now.
not?
Why not? I mean, incredible. But yeah, such a great moment. Best Picture. You called that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I definitely could have seen Top Gun Maverick winning. Yeah. You know, Top Gun Maverick, like,
they did win one award.
It saved cinema, but Top Gun Maverick was that one non-superhero movie.
It might have saved cinema, dude.
Like, well, that's what I'm hearing a lot of people say. That went crazy. You know,
and they admitted that at the Oscars that it did.
Yeah, so
it brought people back.
That could have won. But like I said, you know, there's a big sweep, everything everywhere, you know, we're just going crazy. So I understand it.
I do shout out Top Gun because they did win one Oscar. I can't remember which one it was, though.
But
they did win one.
Was it for music?
No, it was not the music.
Was it music?
Which I think was a robbery, too, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But I don't know.
I can't remember.
But they did win one. I know that for sure. All right, next up, shout out Everything Everywhere All at Once. They won 7 Oscars. I mean, that's an incredible feat. I mean, they won, let's see, Best Supporting and Best Supporting Actress, Best Picture, Best Screenplay, Best Director. Is that 7 or did I miss one?
I wasn't counting.
2 supportings, 1 actress, picture, 3, 4, screenplay, director. 5, that's 6. They won one other. I can't remember what it was.
I couldn't tell you. It's not Best Editing.
Was it Best Editing? It might have been.
I can't remember.
But anyway, 7 Oscars. That's an incredible feat. So shout out Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well deserved.
I mean, that's really, really incredible.
A24's best movie, arguably.
Yep, definitely. So next up, though, Everything Everywhere All at Once was not the only movie cracking up on the Oscars, man.
One other movie,
All Quiet on the Western Front. Holy cow.
Crazy, yeah.
It won 4, which is still incredible. I mean, they won 4 Oscars, including cinematography, best score. And those are 2 big categories.
It won international.
It won best international film as well. I did call that one.
Yeah.
Back in when we were talking about it, I did call that it would win All Quiet. It would win best international and well deserved. I mean, a lot of these. I mean, 4. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And they did have amazing cinematography, and the score was good. So I do have to shout out All Quiet on the Western Front.
Shout out, yeah. I know you're a huge fan of the movie.
It was a good movie. So shout out there.
Well deserved too.
All right, next up, I just wanted to bring up real quick the best original song because I think it was 100% robbed. Because the best original song went to RRR for one of the songs that they did in RRR. And personally, like, I know it's probably because of the international effects and stuff like that, but I haven't heard of this song. And when I was listening to this song, I did not like it compared to the other 2 that were in this role that honestly were absolutely robbed because they just didn't probably want to give these 2 movies another Oscar.
What other?
There was being Rihanna for Lift Me Up, or Rihanna.
Lift
Me Up in
song.
Wakanda Forever. That's a great song.
No, it's not.
Dude, it's a great song.
Lift me up.
Dude, that's a great song.
I'm not feeling that.
That one got robbed, and then Lady Gaga for Top Gun Maverick.
See, I like that one better. I like Lady Gaga's.
I mean, either one I think should have won over RRR songs. So that was really weird.
To be honest, I can't even really talk about this eloquently because I didn't see RRR.
Well, it doesn't matter about the movie; it matters about the song.
I've not even heard the song.
So I mean, it's like
maybe you just hate international music, Michael.
Oh no, I mean I'm not. I'm not saying that. I mean, there's some good ones, but like I don't know. I feel like both of them got robbed for what their roles are. So
listen, man. I mean, that was Rihanna's first song in like years, but I definitely feel like it was overhyped just because it was coming from her.
Yeah,
and it also had a very prominent role in the movie. Whereas Lady Gaga's, I feel like wasn't as prominent. It
was the end. I mean, they were both at the end. I would have liked to see one of them two.
I don't know too much about it.
That's fair. All right, next up, really briefly. I know it's way, way, way too early, but we just got to talk about it. Predictions for 2024 Oscars, man. Just predictions right off the bat.
Predictions.
So. Predictions, I'm going to say Best Picture is going to be between Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to be. I mean, who knows? They could be another banger movie we have no idea about. That's like really good.
Yeah,
but
for sure. There always is.
Oh, there always is. I mean, there's ones we have no idea, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. We had no idea.
I know, yeah. Dude, I remember when it first dropped, and it wasn't even showing in our theater, and everyone's like, "Dude, this movie is crazy.
Yeah,
Go see it." I'm like, "Bro, there's no screen
watching
times.
the trailers like before a movie and being like, "This movie looks stupid."
Dude, yeah, I was
really
so
did.
confused,
I know,
man.
I know, but I do think it'd be between those two. Maybe another one could pop up, but I don't know. And then best actor, I think Cillian Murphy's got it. I do.
Really?
I think Cillian Murphy will win for Oppenheimer.
Listen,
Maybe.
man.
I mean, there could be another one out there.
Don't sleep on my boy Joaquin Phoenix for his Beau is Afraid movie, right?
Yeah.
Where he's like CGI in like
Yeah.
4 different characters.
Yeah.
For Leonardo DiCaprio, right? In Killers of the Flower
My thing
Moon.
about that though is Cillian Murphy's never won before, and Joaquin Phoenix
Has he
won in
never won?
2019, and Leonardo DiCaprio won back in like 2014,
So
something
you're
like that.
saying
So-
there's an agenda to get those who haven't won.
In some cases, I think so. I mean, I definitely think it should go to the best and whoever earns it.
Yeah.
But I think Cillian Murphy, man, he's an incredible actor.
Yeah.
He's never really got the appreciation he's deserved. So I think he
I
very
agree.
much could win
I agree.
best actor, and I would love to see it. But I don't know. But I do think
like what other movies are coming out, you know?
we don't really know yet. I mean, who knows? They could be crazy ones. I do think though, Robert Downey Jr., RDJ, I think he might win best supporting. He might
yeah.
get that
Has
role.
he ever won a supporting?
He's got nominated twice for best supporting actor,
Yeah.
but he's never won an Oscar. So I would like to see Robert Downey
Okay.
Jr. get nominated for.
Okay.
I mean, he's my guy. I mean,
Yeah,
I may have some
that's your
bias.
goat right
That's
there.
my guy, but I would like to see that. And
Yeah.
then best actress. Okay, it's not going to happen, but Margot Robbie for Barbie, it needs to happen. Best actress,
Shoo-in.
calling it right now. I mean, the director's incredible.
Yeah, she won
I
in
think it's gonna be a great
2017
movie.
for like Nomadland or
Yes,
something
yes,
like that.
not Nomadland, but it was a different one.
Oh, what's the something else?
Chloe
Oh.
Zhao directed Nomadland.
Oh, sorry. No, she won in like 20, what was it?
17, something like that.
18
I
or
can't remember, something like
yeah.
that. But anyway, Margot Robbie, she's never won an Oscar, and she's a great actress. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Barbie.
Did she win supporting actress for Wolf of Wall Street?
I don't know. Well, let me look it up real quick because maybe
Because
I'm wrong.
I feel like that performance is a little crazy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Listen, I mean, this would be a lot easier to do if we had like the full slate of movies, you
I
know,
know.
right in
That's
front of
true.
us, and we just predict.
And I
But
mean,
man,
it's too hard to predict.
look
to
out
be
for the
honest.
heavy hitters. Look out for your Murphys, for your DiCaprios, for your Phoenixes. You know, look
She has
for your
never
Willem
won an
Dafoes.
Oscar. Yeah, she's never won an Oscar. She's got nominated twice for one Best Supporting Actress and one Best Actress.
Okay.
But she's never won.
Also, don't sleep on my boy Willem Dafoe.
Yeah,
his
I mean,
new movie Inside, I
That's
guess, would be
true.
considered for
'Cause
next
has he ever
year.
won an Oscar? I don't know.
I don't know, dude. He has to have won an Oscar, dude.
I don't know, man.
He's the most watched actor on Letterboxd.
Really?
Yeah, actually, his movies are. But anyway, the whole movie is just him. Like he's
Right.
pretty much only actor in it. So just an hour 45 apparently. If
He's never won an Oscar.
Listen,
Just been nominated. He's been nominated 4 times.
Lighthouse, he had to be nominated for Lighthouse.
He was not nominated for Lighthouse.
What?
No, he was nominated 4 times.
No
but
way.
One of them was not
for
Lighthouse.
supporting actor. He didn't get a nomination.
He got Best Supporting Actor 3 times and Best Actor once, but they were just nominated.
Oh my
nominations.
goodness,
Never
dude!
won.
Lighthouse, he goes crazy.
Yep. So we'll see. Anyway, all in all, we did pretty well, I think,
bad,
for,
not
for
bad, yeah.
predictions and stuff. And it was a good Oscar. So excited for next year and its breakdown.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Our podcast, Here's in the Moment, is available on all major podcast platforms, so check it out. Speaking of checking it out, our last episode was our Shazam official movie review, so check that sucker out. I know we were duking on it a lot, but check and see what our final thoughts after seeing the movie were.
Facts.
If you want to stay up to date with all of our updates, announcements, episode drops, check out the socials. Primarily our Instagram at Here's in the Moment, and then our TikTok at Here's in the Moment with an extra T.
And we just want to thank you guys for listening. And as always, we love you 3000.